Okay, so the boarding culture. So life in the boarding house can be really fun and stressful at times. The reason being is because a boarding house is very much like your second family. Everyone in there knows each other very well, and we all live under the same roof for our whole academic career. Most of the boarding schools will require boarders to dine together for breakfast, lunch, and supper. On the occasion, I do know some schools, they have a canteen instead. So that is quite different from the one I went to. And the dining, when it's time to dine, it is also a very nice time to bond with your housemate, as everyone is gathered together in the same room and for a common purpose as well. And also different houses will have different peer pressure. So for example, some in Oundle, some of the houses, they excel academically, and whilst some of the other ones are very good with the sports. And you might feel at a certain point that you don't fit in with others in that particular houses. You're not doing well in whatever the house is really known for. And I do think that you don't need to worry too much, as each individual's strength is different to one another, and you just need to do what you do best, and you will be recognized in the end. Academics and extracurricular activities. So do boarding schools mainly focus on academics only? Boarding schools don't just focus on academics. However, some do focus more than the other ones. And overall, all boarding schools focus in developing their students to excel in whatever field they perform the best, and also offer a all-rounded training for boarding pupils. And the school will still have to perform well in their academics. The students will still have to perform relatively well in their academics in order to stay past fifth form. So in my school, the requirement was at least 1 A stars, 3 A's and 3 B's in order to go into sixth form. And in top boarding schools, there will definitely be more academically focused, I think. But they will still provide as many extracurricular activities to their students whenever possible. It's not compulsory to join them, but I would say I do advise to join as many as you can if it's available to you. Right? And there is no set amount of extracurricular a child should or should not join, in my opinion. It all depends on how the child feels and how much they want to do the activity. And in my experiences, it's never really good to force your child to take up something they do not like. So for example, my parents really wanted me to do saxophone during my years in Oundle, and I really hated it. I failed completely in my saxophone exams. I barely attended to any of these saxophone exams as well, to the lessons as well, because I just didn't really enjoy it. And rather than forcing your child to do something they don't want to do, allow them to explore what they want to do, let them look at the school's catalogue and what they offer as well, and discuss them thoroughly with your child. I think it's a waste of money and time as well, since the child would get nothing from it if you force them to do something that they don't really enjoy. So going over to sports, sports will be compulsory for all boarding schools. Regardless if your child is not really capable in sports or not. And from my experiences, it's basically from year 9 to year 11. It's mostly rugby, cricket, the traditional British sports for boys. And past fifth form, there's actually a lot more options for students who want to focus on the academics. So sports which are not as intensive, such as badminton, hockey, and maybe swimming as well, actually. So I really think that the child needs to participate, obviously, for the first 3 years, and then they can choose whatever they want to do. If they want to focus a bit more on academics, fine. They can do badminton or even jogging as well, actually. I do know some schools offer jogging as a sport. Okay, so CCF. So the Combined Cadet Force is basically a program with the Minister of Defence, with most of the boarding schools in the UK. There's currently 400 boarding schools participating in the CCF, and this is a very traditional thing with independent schools in the UK that your child will get to experience, and it's quite fun as well, actually. And for CCF, is basically you have to join 1 year. I think it's compulsory for most students in the boarding school, and afterwards it is an option for your child to take it if they want to do other things like community action, where you get to go over to different state schools to provide help, basically. But as you see in the picture, we have the RAF section in here, and we do also have the marching band and the parade for CCF.